Have you ever just had one of those days where you do your makeup and it's hideous? So that just happened to me. I was not satisfied with any aspect of it, nothing. So I just decided to wash it all off and start over. I'm just gonna start over and I'm going to do what I usually do, because I know that that is like tried and true. And yeah, so I'm starting with some vitamin C serum by by Bliss Bright Idea. So initially I just took off the makeup with a damp makeup eraser, and then I had glitter everywhere. So I just took my Murad cleanser. It's like the Morning Burst or Morning Bright, I don't know the name of it, but I took that and just washed my whole face. And now I'm putting my moisturizer and SPF back on. Sometimes that's just what you have to do, you know, just take it off and start over. Now I am putting on my primer. I think we might be at the end of it. Do you ever, I probably have one more day in this, do you ever have something that is almost done and so then you start aggressively using it? That's what I do when I'm hitting pan on something. Just because it's like you're so close. And sometimes you don't know how many uses you have left. Okay. And when I previously did my makeup, I actually forgot to put my primer on, and I had already put on like concealer or something. So then I was putting the primer on over that. We were having problems, girl. It just was not working. It just was not working. So honestly, I woke up and decided to do everything the opposite of what I typically do. Here is the Makeup by Mario Eye Prep and Set in Deep. Ooh, I'm actually hitting pan on this. So satisfying. How about we pull out the Zendo? So I am taking Scents, which is this color here. You know, you have those days and you're just like, everybody shut up. And nobody's even talking to you. Now I am taking Tranquil, which is the color that was right next to Scents. So I'm just putting that here in the inner corner area. Okay, we all know I like to deepen up the outer V. So I'm gonna go back in with this BK 203 brush. And can I just say, BK Beauty has amazing customer service. I ordered, I think it was 3 brushes during their sale around Mother's Day. So that was a couple of weeks ago. And one day I got an alert that the brushes had been delivered to my mailbox. So I go out to my mailbox, there's nothing there but a bill. And I didn't worry about it the first day because I've experienced on occasion the United States Postal Service saying that they've delivered something, in actuality they haven't. And so it's like the next day or, you know, 2 days later. But I waited about 2 or 3 days, and then I contacted BK Beauty, just sort of asking, I wanted to know, like, what should I do? Should I just reorder? And they were like, well, this does happen sometimes where they say that they're going to, or they say that they've delivered it, but it's actually not there yet. Usually it comes in a couple days, which I was like, yeah, I've had that experience, so I'll just go ahead and wait. And they were like, keep us updated. And so I think I in total like waited a whole week. And then I got back to the BK Beauty and I was like, yeah, it hasn't come. Like, what should I do? I filed a claim with the USPS. They didn't respond. Potentially because I filed quite a few claims with them. Only recently, like in December, I think at the beginning of December, I was sending some makeup to my little cousin, and I remember sending it on like December 9th. I was like, okay, it's early enough. She's gonna get it before the holiday. And I also sent some stuff to a friend. I kept checking with them and I kept looking at my tracking number and everything, and it wasn't delivered. It would be like still in transit or whatever it was. And so I filed a couple of complaints. They're not complaints though. I don't know what they're called, cases, just because I wanted to figure out what was going on. You know, were they lost packages? Was somebody playing with the makeup? And I think they responded like once and gave me like incorrect information. It was a whole to-do. Anyway, that package finally got to my cousin in January or February. So it made it. It was just like months late. And the one that I had sent to a friend, it just got sent back, and the makeup that was in there was like destroyed. Like it was, you couldn't salvage it. It was destroyed. So I was like, well, I wonder if that is going on right now. Like it's just lost in transition. And they didn't respond, but they did send me a survey asking how the service was on my case. This is the post office. And I was like, it was terrible. No one responded. So what are you asking me? But BK Beauty, they went ahead and resent the brushes. And I just got them yesterday, and I like reached out to them to let them know that I got it. And it was just some of the best customer service that I had experienced. And I wasn't even really blaming the post office, because I know it's like crazy at the post office, and especially with the panini going on, it's been really difficult. So I wasn't too upset about it. I wanted my brushes, but I was sort of like, okay, like let me just figure out, can I reorder them? And if I reorder them, can I get the same discount because they were discounted during that week? But they were just so nice, and I really, really, really appreciated it. I am just going back to my Nars Soft Matte. Anyway, did I finish that story? So yeah, I just really appreciate BK Beauty customer service. Like the woman, Tracy, was just so attentive and so nice. And I know we don't get that in every company, right? Like sometimes people are like, girl, I don't know what to tell you. Your brush is lost. Like, good luck. Okay. Also, I've been using this Nars. Girl, today is a day. This Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. Am I the only one that doesn't actually feel like it's creamy? But I want to use it up, so I feel like I'm actually getting towards the end of it. But yeah, I'm like, this isn't that creamy. It feels dry to me, actually. It's funny how people say Shape Tape is dry, and I'm like, no, it's not. And then I use this one, and I'm like, it's a little dry. Oops. Oh well. So my niece graduated from college over the weekend. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go because they still had restrictions on how many guests could be at the graduation. And considering I'm also on the other coast, it just didn't like make sense for me to go out there. But the school was live streaming it, and my family is on Cali time, was that Pacific time, and I'm on the East Coast, so Eastern time. And my niece told me what time it was going to be. I think she said it was going to be 12. So I was thinking, oh, okay, so that's like 3 o'clock my time. I'll have time to relax, get something to eat, go buy some champagne, some juice, and then I can just sit and watch the live stream and just like feel like I'm there, right? All of a sudden, my sister texts the whole family, really in like a group chat, and was like, she's about to walk across the stage. They're about to call her name. And I'm like, what? It's like 12 something here. And so I was like, oh, maybe she had already calculated the time difference and told me, but I wasn't assuming that. So I was in Walgreens in the pharmacy line picking up a prescription. Girl, Rose, where you come from? Picking up a prescription, and I was in the drive-thru. And so I had to pull over, got my prescription. I'm not even, okay. Pulled over and I am like trying to get onto the live stream. I can't get it. I'm sitting in my car. It's getting hot. I'm trying to turn on the air conditioning. I'm like, oh my God, did they call her name already? And I finally got onto it and they called her name and I was screaming in the car. So I don't know if people heard me, but I was like, yeah, God, that's my niece. Like if I'm there. And I was so happy that I had managed to like pay attention to that text, because if not, I would have missed it and I would have been heartbroken. Because, you know, it was on the weekend, and sometimes on the weekend, I'm like, nobody contact me. So it was lovely. It was just amazing to see her walk across that stage. Oh my God, I'm like so happy about it, because her journey has not been an easy one. So this is just like such an accomplishment. And I was just screaming. Oh yeah, I mean, so I had this feeling of like being super happy, but I also had this feeling of being super sad that I didn't get to be there. On, you know, any other time period, I would have been there. I would have been practically running across the stage with her. My family may or may not have been reprimanded several times at graduations, because it's just such an accomplishment. Like, we're first generation students or Americans, and so graduating college is just like, dude, that's a big deal. But also, we cheer for other people too, especially if we see that they have a little, you know, like they don't have a whole bunch of people. So let's say like Susie Q, her family is like sitting next to us, and we're like, oh, who's your graduate? And they're like, oh, it's Susie Q, you know, just two of us here. So then we're like, okay, Susie Q, when she come on, we're gonna go ahead and scream. So we will scream for everybody else too. Oh God, I love my family. We will embarrass you. But in a good, loving way. So then my sister and my mom went to the graduation, which were the right two people to go. And the rest of us just, you know, live streamed. That's right, live streamed it. And then I think I called my niece later, and my family, or my mom, my sister, my niece, they were out with a couple of my niece's friends having brunch, I think. My niece was having an alcoholic beverage, which is the weirdest thing. Have you experienced that? Do you have like a younger family member and now they're like legal and stuff, and they're like drinking or doing something that they like now can legally? It's the weirdest thing. But also, it reminds me that I'm old, because she's still drinking like some of that stuff that's just like tar. You know, and I'm over here with champagne, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you drink like a 20-year-old, because I can't handle that stuff no more. My stomach might explode, let alone my liver. This wasn't supposed to be a get ready with me, but it is. Yo, I don't know if this is only an East Coast thing or if it's also like the Midwest. I do know it's not West Coast as far as I'm aware. So the cicadas, you can hear them. It's the weirdest thing. I don't even know how to explain them, but like, like last year, maybe it was this year, people were like, yeah, cicadas gonna be out, you know, they're gonna be here for like 6 weeks or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay, like what's that? Child, they're like these big old like beetle looking bugs with wings. And they come out like every 13 to 17 years or something. It seems real biblical. And they're just like, here, you can't do anything about them. They'll like coat the trees. They'll like coat your your tires. I'm like, why? Why? What's the purpose of that? That one right there. What's the purpose? It's weird. I don't know if like Rose has been wondering about it too. This is the Cover FX. And why am I adding a T at the end of every word? It's the Cover FX blush in Spice Cinnamon. Anyway, I don't know if Rose is like noticing it also because, first of all, Rose is a nosy cat. She has her little perches where she can make sure to get all the tea on the neighbors. And when I tell you, when it's something juicy, she will run from the second floor to the first floor, go to her window. She's like an old lady. Not gonna lie, sometimes I'm with her. But yeah, she's been like running around the different windows lately and just like sitting and staring. I'm like, is she listening to the cicadas? I just have those days where I'm like, I want to be a ballerina or a mermaid. Not possible, but you know, sometimes I just have those days where I'm just like not feeling it. I think I will use, yeah, I'll use this Vanessa Myrick's Balm Contour in, this is deep 2. So here it is. And I'm just gonna use this BK 107 brush. Child, Vanessa Myrick stuff is real pigmented. When I tell you, you have got to be ready. Okay, now I think I'll grab the Dew Wet from Vanessa Myrick's in, this is the hot water one. I want the other one. Oh, here it is. This one is in rose water, so it has just this rosy tone to it. I'm just gonna put that here and then I'll blend it in. I think I mentioned how I went ahead and purchased one of the Mcgrath blushes. You won't be surprised that I also purchased another one. Child, sometimes I don't know what to do with myself. We don't process it in therapy. Whew. Okay, I'm mixing 2 colors for that lower lash line. I'm mixing Vigor and what's this one? And Mindful. Just going back and forth between the two. I will grab the LA Girl lip liner in Berry Wine. And I will fill that in with Berry Me Too from Dose of Colors. This is a liquid lipstick. And I realized I did not set my face yet. So I will take the Charlotte Tilbury, number 3, and powder brush. Everything is everywhere. And just set everything with a bit of powder. This also can help you just blend everything together. That's it. Let me go downstairs and work from home. Thanks for watching.